So the reason why calibrative, the reason why my Kaali are the most important manifestations of the beginning of creation. Beyond Mahavishnu, beyond Periodic Shakti, beyond Sadashiv, there is Mahakal, there is Adi Kali. My Adi Kali manifestation of any type of form of light, any type of form of masculinity, there is Mahakal. Mahakal manifesting into physical form through Triambaka Deva manifesting calibrated. When you understand that calibrative is the very first essence of Shiva manifested physically as Mahakali, as Ma'adya. Ma'adya manifest as my Kali in physical form. Ma'adya being the darkness that was there before anything else existed. That darkness that created that very first spark of the Big Bang. Namaste, Ashe. That spark is known as Sadashiv that creates the whole entire life force. But what's beyond Sadashiv is Mahakal, the very first consciousness of masculine spirit of Shiva that was there before the light was even able to be visibly seen. That is Mahakal. Now, Mahakal manifesting into physical form is the reason why Kalabretava is the most important form of Shiva. Because Kalabretava is the form the unmanifested form of Sadashiv, the form that was before Sadashiv. This is why Mahakal is not just a deity of anger or deity. This is not just a Ugra deity. Mahakal is the very first essence of Shiv, of Sadashiv. This is beyond having your concept of Mahakali being the physical representation of your Vigraham, as well as Kalabretava, when the truth is the essence of them is the darkness which created the light in the first place. Namaste, Ashe. This is Mahakal, Ma'adya. This is the beginning. So you having this understanding of Kal, having this true understanding of time, understanding of the timeline, and understanding that the Dark Ages came about in 3000 BCE, and all the religions came about after the Dark Ages. And before the Dark Ages, there was none other but Santanan Dharma. The understanding that all other religions, whether it be Christianity, whether it be Islam, whether it be Muslim, whether it be Abrahamic religions, all religions was created after 3000 BCE. A lot of religions were created when the Dark Ages began after Krishna ascended back to his cosmic abode. So when you have this, and the only timeline that ties back to Santanan Dharma that tried to get heavily restricted is Kemet, is Egyptian. That is the only timeline that's mostly connected to Santanan Dharma, as well as the Orishas, which were rising back in frequency. But you must have a deeper understanding that there was nothing of before 3100 BCE. If it wasn't before Sati Yuga. You have a clear understanding of the 4 yugas. When you have this clear understanding that the 4 yugas, Sati Yuga being the very first yuga, goes back to 3 million BCE. There are no other religions, no other pantheon that's going to give you a cosmology timeline of the universe. This is why Santanan Dharma is eternal truth. And this is why Calibrative give you the jnana of the time of the planet. So you can truly understand how things went in order and why we're at where we are now. When you're a sadhaka of Calibrative or Mahakal, he dumps this jnana of knowledge on you, not only about Santanan Dharma himself, but he gives you the jnana of the whole timeline of the earth entirely. Completely understanding when the devatas of Santanan Dharma manifested into other timelines such as Kemetic. the reason why Krishna ascended back to his cosmic abode in the Kali Yuga, and the reason why Kal Bradiv is just coming about in the Kali Yuga such as a full intensity. This is happening because Kal Bradiv was none other than the manifestation of Triambaka Deva, manifesting Mahakal, the very first essence of Sadashiv into physical form. Not just for Santanan Dharma of the three yugas, but for the fourth yuga as well, for Kali Yuga as well. Namaste, Ashe. This is why it is the first religion. There is no other religions before Santanan Dharma. When you have the clear understanding of the reason why they tried so hard to have the beings, there were original indigenous beings in India in the Satya Yuga. But when eventually, as the yugas went along and Kali Yuga came about, there was different races of beings from different planetary star systems coming to invade. And they did have a lot of the indigenous beings within India spread across the world. And a lot of the devatas within Santanan Dharma manifested as the Kemetic gods. Spiritual masters such as Malachi York or Rashad Jamal was able to not have that level of protection because they did not go back to the origin. It is important to go back to Kemetic and Egyptian times, but you must go back to what was there before that. And who are the Egyptian, who were the Kemetic gods before that time, which was none other than the Santana Dharma Devatas. This is why a lot of those spiritual leaders didn't have the protection that they wanted to have, such as young Pharaoh, because they did not go back to the origins. They did not go back to the origins of the Devatas. But we're going to speak about the Santanan Dharma Devatas and how they manifested as the Kemetic gods and why did that happen and how did we get to that point. But what's important is still understanding the whole timeline of the planet, understanding what is first, focusing on what is first. Such as Swami Srila Prabhupada, he was untouched. He was able to build this magnificent temple. He was able to create this international consciousness of Bhagwan Krishna, and there was nothing able to stop him because he went to the origins. This is why Kal is important, to understand the time.